everyone. My name is Lynn Wilson and welcome to my channel. Tonight, what are we going to talk about? We're going to save about $430 on our food budget per month. Can it be done? Let's find out. Okay, so I am intrigued with challenges. And Jan from New York City, hello Jan if you're watching, and she gave a challenge of $7 per day for a family meal. Now you say that's impossible. It's tough. I wouldn't say it's impossible. It is difficult. It's challenging. But who doesn't like a good challenge? So I don't remember exactly all the details that Jan presented in her original video on this, and I know a lot of people have piggybacked onto this. But I wanted to take the challenge a little further. So Jan, if you're watching, I'm challenging you to do what I did and see what you can come up with. Maybe you can put another spin on this. And that's what I want to do. I want to do another spin on the $7 challenge. So here's what I did. I figured out 3 meals for one day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, for a family of 4 for $7. They're, give or take a few cents. Now, in my state, in New Jersey, there is no tax on food. But if we go to a fast food restaurant, that's a luxury, there's tax. So your basic, meat and potatoes, vegetables, milk, eggs, butter, there's no tax on that. So some of the things we're talking about, I will talk about that I've had to add tax and some not. So you'll see as we go along. I don't want this to be a long and complicated video. I keep my sign that, if you remember, that I got at Dollar Tree, keep life simple. And that's what I want to do with our budget. So for all of us, we're on a budget. Whether you have money or you're dirt poor or you're dirt rich, you're on a budget. Everybody wants to be on a budget because we want to save money. We want to have the emergency fund. We want to get the car. We want to buy the treats once in a while. We want to go on vacation. We're all saving for something. I would think most people are. Saving for retirement, saving for a rainy day, and so on. Graham and I have sat down over the past couple of weeks since the beginning of the year, and we've made our 2-year goal. I'm not going any further than that. That's just where I feel the Lord leading, and we've made a 2-year goal for ourselves of where we want to be in 2 years and what we think life is projecting for us in 2 years. So this is what we're working toward. In that, I'm trying to earn extra money. How do you do a side hustle? I'm doing yard sales. I'm doing Poshmark. I'm doing online stores with yard sales. We're doing Facebook Marketplace. We're doing anything and everything to bring in a little side money for a side hustle in addition to my 9-to-5 paycheck. Doesn't matter that you bring in a side hustle. That's totally up to you. However you want to bring in money. How else are we bringing in money? We've adjusted our phone bill. We've adjusted our cable bill. Things like that. Things that you have, some flexibility with. Do you have to have Netflix? Do you have to have Hulu? Do you have to have these extra channels? Do you have to have cable? No, you don't have to. You don't need, and you don't have to have any of it. Do you want some of that for various reasons? Okay. So, after a while, you get to the point where I've cut back on everything I can cut back on. I can't cut back on gas in the car unless I just stop going everywhere. And so you try and look, and the next thing and the last thing is probably your food budget. So let's go back first to the $7 a day meal for a family of 4. I'm going to quickly go through another menu idea. If you didn't catch my menu idea from 2 nights ago, it seemed to have a good response to that. I'll link that in the description below, and you can go back and watch that. I will tell you, which I said before, these are not organically fresh, perfectly seasoned in every way, and perfectly nutritional. And that food pyramid, you'll not see that reflected in this $7 a day. Right now, because of prices of food, you can't do all that you want to do. Now, you can say, okay, I'm going to spend $10 a day. Maybe if you spent $10, you could do more organics and things like that. Maybe you can only do $5 a day, so you're going to have to cut back. And this is based on very small portions for a family of 4. I would say if my family of 3 ate this menu, we'd be perfectly fine. If you're going to do a family of 4, you might be having an extra slice of bread at each meal just to feel full before the next meal. This is not including snacks, coffee, tea, chips, cupcakes, anything like that. You're drinking water at all your meals, and we're going plain and simple. But you know what? There might be a time, day before payday, you're going to be tight on funds. Maybe this month is coming. Keep that word month in mind. Maybe this next month is going to be difficult financially, and you need to cut back. And, you know, if I will do a little commercial break here for those of us that have preached, taught, encouraged, however you want to say it, to have a stockpile, it is well worth having a stockpile. This is what now? Second, third week of February, and I have lived off of my stockpile since Christmas. I am trying to use up a lot of what's in my pantry because a lot of it needs to be used up date-wise, and I don't like certain things sticking around for any length of time, and I will go back and replenish that, but I'm not doing that until March. We're going to hit the discount grocery stores in March. I'll take you along when we go. My husband, myself, and my mom will be going. We're going to see what buys we can get. My freezers are still fine. We're working on frozen vegetables. I do occasionally get fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. I have to get bread once in a while. Coffee, milk, butter, eggs. Those things, outside of that, I'm living out of my pantry. Okay, what did I come up with for our meals? So I did homework. See, I got proof. I did homework. Bare bone meals here, okay? So the other day I flashed pictures up, and I don't know if I'm going to do that this time. But at Aldi, we went to Aldi. I was there. This is where I got my prices. Yes, you can go cheaper. Yes, you can get sales. We're going to assume you have one store. You're shopping from one store, and that's all you can do. $1.19 for a package of peanut butter crackers. There are those crackers with the peanut butter in the middle. You know what? Sometimes you just got to do something, grab and go quick for breakfast. I will often have those. I carry them, and I leave a pack on my desk. There are days I just can't do a big meal for breakfast, or I can't get a bagel, or I can't whatever. And these are here, or they're just a great afternoon snack. So for $1.19, you get a package of 6. So if you're a family of 4, you've got a package for each plus 2 extras. So if dad or mom needed an extra package, or somebody was extra hungry, you could do that. And you can get a can of fruit for $1.25. Now, I found that to be slightly expensive, but I don't buy canned fruit very often. So I don't know if Walmart would be a lot cheaper on that. But even still, we were at one store, like we've talked about, sometimes that's all you can do. So $1.25 for a can of fruit. So between the two things, there you go. We're also doing our standard loaf of bread for 95 cents. So if you're still hungry, grab a slice of bread and put some butter on it if you have butter. Put some jam on it if you don't have any butter or you can't afford to waste the butter on that. And put some jam on it, peanut butter on it if you have peanut butter. If not, piece of plain bread, that will work. Okay, so let's move on to lunch. So we're going to do a can of tuna at $1.19 and a can of green beans or a can of any vegetable you want. I chose green beans for 58 cents. Can of tuna is, we're going to be, this is going to be a light lunch. Now, what I would recommend for this is if you can do a roux like we did the other day with the sausage, make a nice white gravy, go ahead and do that. Make it sort of like a tuna casserole. Add some salt and pepper, add some onion powder and garlic powder, add some, Italian seasoning, add something, add some flavor to it. If you have a beef bouillon or chicken bouillon, go ahead and add that. If you have any leftover bits and bobs in the refrigerator, you got half an onion, you got a piece of tomato, you got a piece of zucchini, you got anything. This is the time to gather all those bits and pieces that you have and throw that in the mix, and you're going to make somewhat of a tuna casserole with 1 can of tuna, 1 can of green beans, and you're going to have to stretch this. Like I said, this is going to be tight, but when your budget is super tight, whether you are just really down and out and this is all you've got, or you're trying to save money, if I want to save for something, I'm going to have to sacrifice a little bit. And I've told my kids this. If you want that, you can't have this. And you know what? We could all stand to lose a little weight, and maybe that's the case. You're going to have to cut back. But if you can make a nice white roux, add the tuna, the green beans, some seasonings, it's not too bad. If you have anything else, a little bit of something left over from somewhere else or the other day, add that to it. You've got that loaf of white bread. Make this like a gravy and pour it on top of 1 or 2 slices of bread. We get a whole loaf of bread for 95 cents. That lasts me for a week. So we're talking for it to last us for a day. So eat the bread and fill up on that and make it a satisfying meal. Then we're going to jump into dinner. We're going to get a box of pasta for 98 cents. We're going to get a package of hot dogs for 99 cents. And I'm going for frozen veggies to get more of a flavor of fresh. Now you can switch this to a can of veggies for 50 cents to 58 cents. You can do that and cut back. But we went with a package of frozen veggies for 84 cents. Going to cook the pasta up. You're going to fry the hot dogs up in a little oil, preferably vegetable oil or olive oil. I'd go with the olive if you have it, but whatever oil you can. You don't have oil, use a non-stick. You don't even need oil. You've got some butter, try that. You've got some, bacon grease would even be better for flavor. We're looking to add flavor. So if you only have maybe a lard, but you can add some onion and garlic powder to it with the hot dogs. Again, if those spices, if you've got a little bit of a stockpile, this is when those spices are going to come in handy to beef up this meal. And then you have the frozen veggies for 84 cents. I throw that, cut the hot dogs up very thinly sliced, very thinly, like thin. Not paper thin, but thin enough that you're going to be able to stretch this meal. And this is probably going to fill you quite a bit, because a package of hot dogs for a family of 4 is a lot of hot dogs. But cut your hot dogs up, throw it in a pan of oil, throw the frozen veggies in it, stir fry that up and cook them down, and add whatever flavors you can. Italian seasoning, garlic, onion powder, yada, yada, yada. The world is yours depending on what spices you have. Then go ahead and throw that pasta in there. If you do have olive oil or vegetable oil or whatever you have, mix a little oil in the pasta. Stir this all together and you're going to have a pasta stir fry. Again, you'll have your white bread. You can have it on the side. Add some butter, add some jam, add some honey to it, whatever you can do to make that bread a little bit more flavorful. Now this meal, yesterday we came under, what did we come under? Yesterday or the other day, the meal was $6.46. So we were under $7. Today we're over by 97 cents. This came out to $7.97. And I told you, it's not easy, right? It's not easy to keep this down. So you have to kind of like look at this like, okay, well, what could I cut back on? Can I not do the frozen veggies and cut that down to maybe canned veggies? Maybe not do any fruit at breakfast for $1.25. Maybe cut that out. Do what you can do. Every family has to see what they can do. I didn't think that was too bad, though, for $7.97. I started with $13.43 because I was like, ooh, I could write this down. I could write that down. I saw this. I saw that. And I had to get it down to about $7. Now, here's the kicker, okay? I sat down with my husband and we figured this out. So if you take $7 to $7.50 per day for 3 meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I went with the higher end, $7.50. And you divide that by 3 meals, okay? You can see I wrote it all down here. It's all here. Used a scrap envelope, scrap paper. So $7 to $7.50 per day. Divide that by 3 meals. You're going to come up with $2.50, okay? There you go. Divide that by 4 people, you're going to come up with 62 cents per person per day. Okay, you can't get much cheaper than that. Now, if you were to go to a fast food restaurant, let's just say, hey, I have no time. I'm going to be on the road. I don't have time. I don't want to cook. I don't feel like cooking, whatever the case might be. Now, this is per person, okay? So we're going to go as cheap as we can. We're not going out to a restaurant. We're not buying the ultimate deluxe, meals or whatever. Breakfast at a McDonald's, like a McDonald's sandwich and coffee, is going to come with tax to $3.21. For lunch, you can go to Wendy's. They have what in our area called the Biggie Bag. Double cheeseburger, 4 chicken nuggets, small fry, small drink. It's $5, but with tax, $5.35. For dinner, you have the same type of package that Wendy's has at Burger King, so we want to switch this up a little bit. And these are the cheaper meals. This is not, again, the nice, big Whopper, large fry, and all the rest. So that meal at, where do we go? Burger King was $6, with tax $6.42. Comes out to $14.98 per person per day. $15 per person per day. That's still not bad. $5 a meal, that's still not really that bad. Is it healthy? Absolutely not. You're eating 3 meals a day like that, you're not going to be doing well with your weight. You're not going to be doing well with just your, your mental functionality. You can't live on that type of food. But we're going to take one day at a time. So for one day, it's going to cost you about $15. But if you take $15 times 30, okay? Spend 15, this is per person. $15 times 30 days. Let's say we did this for a whole month. $449.40. What? Yeah. That's per person. So you take that average times 4 people per day per month. You're spending a lot of money. Then if you take the 62 cents per person per day, bare bones minimal meals times 30 days, that's $18.60. The difference between what you would have spent at the fast food restaurants and eating at home bare bone meals is $430.80. Listen, I love eating out. I love not having to cook. I love the thought of coming home and saying to my husband, can we do DoorDash? Can we order pizza? Can we go out? Can we do? I love that idea. I enjoy eating out. I enjoy someone else cooking for me. I have to say, the more I eat at home, the more I have been eating at home, the more I enjoy plain and simple homemade cooking. I'd almost rather throw a package of spaghetti in the pot and a can of sauce together for like $2 or less and enjoy that meal than going out to dinner. I'm enjoying home cooking more. The key is finding meals that are affordable and simplistic. Remember the sign. Keeping things simplistic so you're not overwhelmed with having to cook. Now, you could take these figures, you could slice them up any way you want. The whole thing is, I want you to do some thinking. I want to challenge you to think. I want you to challenge you to realize if you want to save money, if you want to make that extra car payment, if you want to start saving toward Christmas, yes, Christmas. It's now 11 months away. In a blink of an eye, we'll all be going, oh no, it's Christmas again. You've got someone's birthday coming up, an anniversary coming up. You've got other holidays coming up, graduations coming up, maybe a wedding. Maybe you want to, go visit family. Maybe you just want to do something fun for yourself. Maybe you want to buy a new outfit. Maybe you want to buy a new pair of shoes. Maybe you need a new pair of shoes. This is a way to start thinking of how many times have I grabbed 1 to 2 to 3 cups of that fancy coffee in a day. $15. $449.40 at the end of a month. You times that times a year, you know what I'm talking about. I am not saying don't eat out. I am saying be careful with your budget. Start thinking through. Start really thinking, like do the math. Do your menu math and figure out how much is this really costing me? Is it worth, is it worth how many hours did I have to work to pay for that meal? All right, guys, that's all I've got. Hope you enjoyed this. Give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment below. Let me know if this is something you've ever thought about. Have you ever taken it to this extreme? And I challenge you to come back and piggyback on this and let me know what you can come up with. All right, guys, thanks so much. See you on the next video.